Hi, hello everyone. My name is Julia Simpson. I'm from the Center for Closing the Health Gap. I'm the Community Projects Director. I want to thank you all for being here today for our virtual Nutrition Train the Trainer program. First off, I want to introduce to you our Burnin' with Style chef, Michael Vinegar. He has been working with the Health Gap for quite a few years now. He has a long history of cooking, fried potatoes being one of the first things he's ever tried when he was, I think he said 9 years old, something like that. At any rate, he's 4 years. 4 years old? Oh my goodness, Mike.
I hung with older people, so, you know, I started doing stuff at an early age.
That's nice. So he's been a chef for over 9 years. So I'm going to give him the stage, and Mike, take it away.
Hola, compadres. How many people we got up in here today? Mr. Rob, what up, Mr. Rob? Who else we got? Oh, Miss Phyllis, Don Jason, Lila Sawyer, Lisa Newton. Hola, how y'all doing?
We're doing great.
Everybody?
¿Cómo está?
Oh, yeah. I got a little Mexican in me, too. Well, today we're going to be talking about food, sanitation, and safety for cooking, and some different things that you just have to know if you're going to be cooking. It's like some stuff, you just need to know this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It can avoid you getting sick, and it can avoid other people getting sick. It can help you with your personal nutrition. It's just better to know. You know what I mean? And so, let me see. Let me pull up my little slides for you. Hold on, I need to share the screen. 1 second. Let me share the screen with you guys. Share. And we're gonna be going over this PowerPoint presentation I made up, and it's basically just gonna go through some basics about cooking. And you know, first off, Health Gap, the Center for Closing the Health Gap, you know, new to the scene, but we've been here for a long time trying to change people's lives one plate at a time. That's my slogan. Don't try to take that one, Health Gap. But it's better if everybody can come together. You know, we all got our own opinions and our own lifestyles, our own perspectives, but it's some things that we all need, and that's food, nutrition, and the ability to take care of ourselves. So this is what this is for. Train the trainer. Teach those who can teach others. You know, you hear that in church every now and then. You know what I'm saying? So we're just trying to live it. You know what I mean? Let's live it. Let's empower ourselves so we can take care of ourselves. Because if you good, you can help the next person instead of getting drugged down bound. You know, we need to uplift each other. We can't do that unless we can help ourselves. So first off, since I deal with all fresh food, you're going to have a knife, a sharp knife, actually. Not a dull knife, not one of those knives from Walmart. You know, you might want to invest into a nice chef knife. I sell them personally on my website. You can go to it, Chef Boy Lab on Facebook.com. You know, hit me up. I got all type of equipment for you if you need it. But let's go through this knife safety instructions. First off, you want a sharp blade. Like I said, it hurts worse to get cut by a dull knife. It could give you more infection. It could have rust on it, whatever. It's harder to get cut by a dull knife than a sharp knife. And a sharp knife, if it does happen to cut you, it's gonna heal very clean. Because it's gonna be a sharp knife. It's gonna be a nice incision. You cut yourself. It heals faster than that dull knife cut. Then we got you want to use a cutting board. You don't want to be on your countertops. You know. You want to use a cutting board that doesn't dull the knife. And the best one to use is a wooden cutting board, a big block wooden cutting board, but they have plastic ones. They have ones that you can roll up, real thin ones that you can just slip into places. But you got to get a cutting board. Number two, and when it comes to cutting board, we're going to talk about this later, but cross-contamination comes into play. Let's say you was making pot roast or chicken stew. You wouldn't go with the chicken first on the cutting board. You want to put the vegetables first and then go with the chicken, because the chicken, in chef terms, is kitchen plutonium. Basically, it could blow your whole life up, and that's salmonella. We all heard about salmonella. That's probably the one foodborne illness that we all are familiar with is salmonella because of chicken. You know, they be having salmonella outbreaks all the time, even on the lettuce. Even the lettuce can be having salmonella sometimes. So, you know, when it comes to cutting boards, you want to make sure you washing your cutting boards. You want to use your chicken. If you're going to have chicken on the cutting board, you're going to use other things. Do chicken last. You know, do chicken last. So you got to worry about cross-contamination. All right, so when you cut and you want to cut downward and away from yourself. You never want to like have that knife swinging towards you because it could slip a little bit. And if you got it, you're supposed to be using a sharp knife, so that knife is gonna come in contact with something and it's gonna cut it. So you don't want to cut towards yourself. You always want to cut away from yourself. Then you also want to clean your knife after every use. You don't want your knife getting all sticky and grimy. Oily. You want to keep your knife clean. You want to have you want to keep a clean workstation. You want to have bowls for the stuff that you're cutting up. You cut some right here. You put the stuff that you're gonna use in one bowl, and you put the stuff that the waste in another bowl. You don't want to work with the garbage can close to you or over a garbage can, because if you drop it in the garbage can, it's garbage. You can't eat at the garbage. I'm sorry, you just can't do it. Not here, not in sanitation. Maybe if nobody else is looking, you would do it for your own food, but I would suggest you don't do it. Don't do it. Don't prep food over the garbage can. Just stay away from that. And then you don't really want to use the garbage can anyway when you're dealing with food because it could be reused for so many different purposes. We're trying to not waste here. We want to use everything that we got. We want to get all the bang for our bucks and all the nutrition out of every piece of granule of food that we get into it, that we buy or purchase or eat. We want all of it. You want all of it, not just a piece of it. You want all of it, and it's there for you. And then you want to store your knives properly. If you're gonna have your knives in the drawer, don't have nothing else in there in the drawer with the knives. So that when you go looking for a knife, you know that there's knives in there, and it's possible you can get cut. You don't want to have the knives in there with the sharp chef knives in there with the spoons and the spatulas and stuff. You jiggling around, cut yourself on accident. It's also nice to if you could get a magnetic strip to put on the wall so you can always see where your knives is at. And they very convenient. Just grab a knife, wipe it off, put it back on the magnetic strip. You know what I'm saying? It don't fall. It's out of the way. Nobody gets hurt. And then in the event that your knife do fall, like let's say you was moving quick or something, you had to get something off the cutting board, you dropped the knife. Never try to catch the knife. I don't even care if it's one of them $500 Japanese knives. Let it fall, because one of them knives, that samurai knife really gonna cut your finger off. It'll cut some hair, like just you can drop a piece of hair on it and cut it. So don't try to catch the knife if it fall. It's good. Just wash it off. Now moving on. As you can see, I got the example of this guy cutting some celery. You see his fingers? Look at his fingers. Or her fingers, I don't know. Those look like man hands to me, but who am I to decide? Those fingers are not in the way of the blade. You see they curl backwards. They're away from the blade. You can see that he's using his knuckles as a wall, a barrier, a reference point, if you will, so that he always knows that the knife is not gonna cut him. Because I got the knife on my knuckles. It can't cut my fingers because it's on my knuckles. And then you got the tip of the knife on the cutting board. That's 1 point, the tip, 2 points on your knuckles, and 3 points in your hand. That's like a tripod. That's very balanced. Tripod, that's what they do with the cameras. They put it on a tripod so it can be balanced. You know what I'm saying? The triangle is the most strongest shape in the universe. Triangle, tripod, the Trinity, all of that. Yeah. You want 3 points of contact when you're cutting. Keep your fingers curled back. Use your knuckle as a barrier, and make sure you're gripping the knife firmly. You don't want to have a little flimsy grip on the knife. You want to have a nice handle on the knife, and the knife becomes your hand. That right hand that he's holding that knife with, it doesn't exist anymore. His hand is the knife. That's the only finger he got is that knife. Everything is the knife. Oh, what's going on here? He got the knife. Nothing else until he let the knife go. Now his hands are back. But that knife is somewhere on a magnetic strip. It's clean and it's in a safe spot where nobody can't get hurt, okay? Who's that? See Bailey entering the room. Admit, come on in here, Miss Bailey.
Oh, I just got her, Mike.
Uh-huh. Wait a minute, let me go back to the participant. Where the participant list at? I want to see y'all. Where the view?
Top right corner.
Top right corner. More. Anybody got any questions about knife safety while I'm looking for this stuff? Go ahead, unmute yourself. Come on. Well, I think it's because I'm in screen shit. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I see it. Thank you, Ms. Rudy. You was right. All right. No questions? All right, we're moving on. Moving on, yo. Okay. Let me get this back out the way right quick. Hold on. All right. What's the right temperature to cook your food? Actually, let's go back right quick. I want to ask y'all a question. Who knows the answer? Anybody know what temperature you're supposed to cook your chicken at? We got a chat box somewhere around here. If y'all see the chat box, just type in your answer. What you think? What temperature should we cook chicken to? I'll give you a multiple choice. 150 degrees, 170 degrees, 165 degrees, or 185 degrees. 150, 170, 165, or 185. Let's see. Where's the chat box?
We have two responses, Mike. 170 from.
Let's see. Hey, y'all ain't cheat though and let you read it right quick, did y'all?
We have one from Phyllis Davis of 165 degrees.
And Diane.
Either of those right?
Okay, then. That is on your handout. Ah, come on, Phyllis. Dang, you ain't supposed to be that smart with it. You supposed to take a guess. Like, cover your eyes or something. That's supposed to be a blindfold question. But at least you
was honest.
Read the notes, though. Thank you. That's how teaching. That's what teaching is. That's what teachers dream of. You know, you go to a class and people already done read up on the material, so they got questions. They got already done thought about it, they considered it and everything. It ain't like I'm showing you an alien for the first time. You know, I had to learn that myself when I was in school to get familiar with the material before class, so that then I can enjoy it better and get more out of it. So you can take that and run with it to the bank, players. All right. Miss Diana came late, but she came with all the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
What's the right temperature? Ground meat and meat mixtures. So you can just think about 165. That's like a magic temperature where everything is done all the way by that time. 165 is like, that's the epitome of doneness, safe doneness. Okay, you can go further than that if you want to, but at least 165. If you get to 165, you know it's done. Okay, but it don't always got to get to 165, as you can see. But when it comes to ground meat got to get cooked a little bit harder. And I want y'all to think about, try to come up with a reason for why that is. Why you think ground meat got to get cooked longer? Cause you see the beef, pork, veal, lamb up at the top, they get cooked to 160, right? But why do the fresh beef, veal, and lamb, they can get cooked to 145? What's the difference between the ground meat and the fresh cut of meat? Think about that for a second. We'll come back to it. But anything, chicken, turkey, poultry, that got to go to 165. And then another one is like always 165 is anything that's a casserole, anything that's left over. Like let's say you cook a steak today and you eat it tomorrow, you need to warm it up to 165 unless you eat it cold. Your casserole dish, like your mac and cheese, your lasagnas, your all of those, anything that go in a casserole with a cover on, you want to cook it up to 165 all the way through. When it comes to fish, you can actually eat fish raw, but if you do cook it, they recommend you cooking it up to 145. Now, when it comes to eating raw fish, we live in Ohio. It ain't no oceans close, so just imagine how long it took for that fish to get here. Was it frozen the whole way? Did it unthaw? Did the truck driver take too long at the pit stop? You know, and did its engine? Anything could have happened to that fish on the way over this mug, and then you're gonna eat it raw. That's a very risky business, man. If you're gonna eat some raw sushi, you might want to go to Findlay Market and make sure you're getting it from a real good sourcer. You don't want to be going to like these little regular spots that sell sushi because it's trendy. Because sushi is like serious business. Like you can really get sick from eating raw fish. When it comes to pork and ham, you gotta cook pork up to 145, and that just recently was changed about 10, 15 years ago, because pork was they cleaned pork of trichomonas. I think that's what it's called. Trichomonas. It's like the worms inside pork. They killed that stuff. They got it down to a degree where you can eat pork medium now. That never used to happen. Like you couldn't eat pork medium. You had to cook it till it was well done. But nowadays they got pork to the point where you can eat it at medium because they done bred it the right way. They done cleaned it up, and now it's not as bad as it used to be. Egg dishes, 160. Orange to the yolk is firm. Yolk and the white is firm. But like I said, people eat raw eggs in the morning, you know what I'm saying, for the hangover remedy or just for protein, for weight gain. It's nice. You can use eggs for a whole lot of stuff. Seafood, 145, until the flesh is opaque. And, you know, you don't want to overcook seafood. You definitely don't want to overcook seafood because then it get all tough and it ain't good. It's better when it's like just barely done, just right there. Like you don't want it to be overcooked, especially not no scallops or clams, mussels, oysters, that type of stuff. You can't overcook that. You can't overcook shrimp. It's just not good. It's not good at all.
Rubbery.
Or who?
It gets rubbery when you overcook it.
Yeah, rubbery, chewy. Yep. Chewing for 5 minutes like it's beef jerky or something. Nobody likes that. So, back to the ground meat thing. Why do you think that ground meat got to get cooked more than the fresh cut of meat? Anybody?
Not sure. Ground meats.
What's going on here, man? I need my microphone. I need my speakers louder. Anybody got one? Anybody got one?
I don't.
Is the beef more tougher than the fresh meat because it's not as processed, less fillers, or?
You said because of what?
Because the beef is processed more, or it's thicker meat, or versus the fresher meat, it's not as many fillers, or that's just a guess. I don't know.
Oh, you're right though. It's definitely because it's processed more. So when you put the meat into the meat grinder, you got to touch all that metal, and then there's a whole lot more openings in the meat for bacteria to get into it. When you grind it down, it's like a million pieces. It's a million pieces of meat, and it used to be one piece of meat right through the grinder. So it's a whole lot more bacteria affecting that meat that's ground up than it is affecting that big cut of meat. So yes, it's because it's processed more, and because it's more likely to have more bacteria in it, which is the reason you cook food in the first place. It's to bring the bacteria down to a manageable level that your body can handle. The bacteria is out there and ain't nothing you can do about it. Some of it is good, some of it is bad, but it's when you cook the food, you kill the bacteria to a point where your body can handle it. All right. I'm gonna get a speaker. Oh, here goes some headphones. Oh yeah. Nope. It's for a phone jack. I ain't got no phone jack on here. Okay, temperature danger zone. Did I go too far? Go back one time. All right, temperature danger zone. The temperature danger zone is about what I was just talking about. All food got bacteria in it. but the bacteria grows the most in the danger zone. The danger zone is from 40 degrees to 140 degrees. 40 to 140. So let's say it's Thanksgiving and y'all cooked all this food. Y'all been up all night cooking the food, and then, you know what I'm saying, they just leave the food on the stove until dinner at night. That's not kosher. You got to keep that food hot all day, at least and you only got 4 hours to do it too. So let's say you cook a food, you go to the buffet, Golden Corral or something. They got to change that food at least every 3.5 hours. Ain't nothing staying out there more than 3.5 hours. Nothing. Not even if don't nobody touch it, it still got to get gone because you can only have it out there. The limit is 4 hours, so they do it 3.5 just to be safe for food to be out like that. 4 hours, and then if you have a buffet, you can't reserve nothing. As soon as you take it off, you got to go in the garbage. You can't come back out for service. People in the back could eat it, but it shouldn't come back out for service. The danger zone, 40 to 140, bacteria be out there pumping steel like crazy. I mean, they growing. 140 to 140, that's like that room temperature up to like all the heat that we can manage and take. That's where everything is happening at. That's where bacteria is going rapidly. So you want to keep your food out of that window by keeping it hot or cooling it down rapidly. Now, they say to keep the refrigerator foods under 40 degrees. An even better number to shoot for is like 36 degrees. Like you don't want your refrigerator going over 37 degrees for real. More like 35, 36, 37 degrees. So that your food can stay cold, and that keeps the food from going bad so fast. And then in the freezer, it's froze. It's 0 degrees in there. 0. And then you cook food, like we said, up to 165, which is definitely done, but some meats can go up to 140 or higher. There we go. Any questions about the danger zone? All right. Now, past the danger zone is foodborne diseases. All right. It's more than 200 of them things out there. And most of the reason they get spread is by people not washing their hands. That's the most common food poison out there is dirty people. They go to the bathroom and don't wash their hands, or they scratch their face and don't touch their hand, don't wash their hands, or they grab their cell phone, don't wash their hands. They touch stuff other than the food they cooking or the utensils they using to cook the food, and then touch the food, which contaminates the food. That's how most of the people get sick. It's usually not a product problem. It's usually a mishandling of the product problem, which causes foodborne illnesses. Now, sometimes you would get some cases where you would get like you'll have somebody catch some from like a canned good where botulism. Botulism is when you got a dented can and you eat the stuff anyway, and the bacteria done got up in there, but you don't even know that. And so you don't feel it for like 2 days. Then next thing you know, your whole stomach just like feel like Zeus just stepped on your stomach. That's botulism. So when you're going to get some canned goods, don't get the ones that got damaged. Don't get damaged cans, because even though they look like they ain't messed up, they could be like super duper minutely messed up, where germs could get in and you could be eating those germs. You don't want botulism. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's one of the worst ones, botulism. You want to keep yourself clean. You want to wash your hands a lot, especially with this coronavirus thing going on. Everybody done up their ante on sanitation. But that's just normal. Like, you're supposed to be washing your hands all the time. You're supposed to be washing where you cough at, not coughing in people's faces and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just normal, but it's done got elevated to a point where, it's time to change the sanitation. It's keep it clean. You want to do that anyway, so keep it clean. Then you want to separate your raw food from your cooked food. You can't have raw food on the same plate as the cooked food. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't have some baked chicken on the cutting board, then put some raw chicken on that same cutting board, and then eat the baked chicken and not expecting that you might get sick. Like you could have salmonella right now. You know what I'm saying? From that chicken juice. That chicken juice is plutonium. I'm telling you, that's what we call it in chef school. Chicken was kitchen plutonium because one drip drop could do a whole lot.
Mhm.
All right. Cook your food thoroughly. We talked about that. You got the temperatures down packed. Keep your food at safe temperatures. You know what I'm saying? How you want to keep it. You want to keep it for 4 hours above 140. You can't let it go under 140. And then if it do go under 140, you want to be getting it down to under 40 fast as possible. And one of the ways to do that is to use ice baths and to use refrigeration. And then you want to use safe water and raw materials. So you don't want to use bathroom water to cook with. Ugh, disgusting. Yeah, you want to be safe and you use safe raw materials. All right. Like your meats, you know what I'm saying? You want to get your meats from somewhere that, you know, they got safety standards and, you know, they got all that going on. You ain't buying it from the dude on the corner selling steaks. Like, nah. You want to get it from somewhere that's reputable. Foodborne diseases, we're back to it. Most common, Norovirus. That sounds like coronavirus. Norovirus contaminated individuals, surfaces, water, or food such as raw salads, fruit, or seafood, especially oysters. 12 to 48 hours is the incubation period, 1 to 3 days until you improve. You get diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain. Norovirus, you don't want that. Oh, nah, you don't want that. No, that's from eating bad seafood too. No.
Don't you see a lot of that norovirus on the cruise ships?
Yeah, they get that a lot on the cruise ship because there be a lot of bacteria that get stuck on that cruise ship. Oh, yeah. Then we got salmonella. Told you about salmonella already. Usually in eggs or chicken, mostly. Unpasteurized milk or juice and raw fruits and vegetables. 12 to 72 hours incubation period, and then you get 4 to 7 days until improvement. You're going to go through that for a whole week. Whoa. Not today. Not today. Diarrhea, fever, abdominal cramps. You see that y'all pretty much got the same look. That food stuff mess with your stomach. You be feeling bad. Like, whoa. Clostridium pertingens. Whoa. Beef or poultry, especially large roasts, gravy, pre-cooked foods. Oh, pre-cooked food. That's why they say you got to heat them pre-cooked foods that go up to 165 because they might have did something weird to it. They might have cut the package or something. Something might have got up in there. 6 to 24 hours is the incubation period, but it resolves within 24 hours. So that's like a little stomach virus. We probably all had that before. Stomach virus. You ain't think nothing of it, but it was Clostridium pertingens. Diarrhea, stomach cramps, man. Then we got Campylobacter. What is that? Contaminated water, raw or undercooked meat or poultry, unpasteurized milk, 2 to 5 days. May last for up to a week. Diarrhea, can be bloody, stomach cramps, and fever. I think that's what they be getting on Naked and Afraid when they drink the water and they ain't boiled it yet.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. You don't want that neither. Staphylococcus aureus. I like saying staphylococcus. It's a funny word. Staphylococcus aureus. Foods handled by infected people and not cooked before eating. Whoa. Sliced deli meat, sandwiches, puddings, pastries. See, that's that staph. That's that I touched. I just went to the bathroom, but I ain't washed my hands. Now I'm making you a salad without no gloves on. Even if I got gloves on, it's still disgusting, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm a dirty bastard. Sorry about that. Like you gotta wash your hands, people. And you know what I'm saying? That's why I like if you go and get some food from a restaurant, go in, don't go to the drive-thru, go in and look at them in the eyes. It's harder to do crazy stuff when people look at you in the eyes, you know. Foods handled by infected people. Oh man, that's bad. It's terrible. Like, so the rule on gloves is this when you're handling food, okay? Nowadays, with the coronavirus going around, it's pretty much keep your gloves on forever and don't die with the gloves on. But the real rule is if you're dealing with food that is ready to eat, like it's like, let's say you cutting tomatoes and they about to go in a salad, or you cutting cucumbers and they about to go in a salad, or you cutting chicken breast that was already cooked and it's about to go on the buffet, or anything that somebody about to eat after you just touched it, you gotta have gloves on for that. Now, if you're dealing with food that you processing and it's about to get cooked, it's not a law that you have to have gloves. But nowadays with coronavirus, you want to wear gloves because people are kind of, way more heightened and alert about sanitation. So gloves when it comes to other people's foods, especially when it's foods they're going to eat without being touched by the heat, because the heat is going to kill the bacteria off to a certain level. Okay, not all of it though. Moving on. How long can you keep your food in the refrigerator? Oh yeah, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. You be having a Thanksgiving, that Thanksgiving food be lasting for way too long, yo. Christmas food, oh no, way too long. 4th of July barbecue food, hecky nah. You can't be having that in there for no 2 weeks, man. Okay? I would say that the limit is the long-term limit is 5 days, okay? For anything that you done cooked and put in your refrigerator, including lunch meat, like lunch meat from the deli that you get at Kroger's or something, you go get some lunch meat. I would say that you got 3 days max to eat that stuff, okay? Because I don't know, it's just something about lunch meat. It go bad fast. It does. It goes bad very fast, and it's because of the processing. They slicing through the meat with that metal razor, and it's in open air, and all these people breathing all around and stuff. There's a whole bunch of germs in the air. So that thing is contaminated. So as soon as you go to put that meat on that deli slicer, the meat is contaminated, and every single slice of meat is contaminated down to the minuscule millimeters of how thick it is. So that's why your lunch meat go bad so fast. It's because it's like, just like the ground meat is more susceptible to bacteria. When it comes to your salads and your fresh vegetables, 3 to 5 days. So if you're trying to change, that's an egg salad with mayonnaise and all that type of stuff in it right there. Mm-hmm. That's not fresh food. That's not fresh vegetable stuff. We'll talk about that in a second. This is like a composed salad right here. Salads with stuff in it, like mayonnaise and whatever, anything in it. 3 to 5 days max. And it's not going to freeze well. So you really can't freeze it. You just got to eat it. You know what I mean? You just got to eat it in 3 days. And some of those you can push to 5 days, but I wouldn't do it. I would say 3 days is it. Like, don't even stress it. 3 days. 3 days. Uh-oh. Hold on. Let me go get my charger right quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, so while Michael's gone, I just want to explain a little bit of the remaining process here. So after he finishes with his content, we still have a few minutes left. He's going to give everybody another opportunity to ask any questions you may have just thought of or add any comments. And then we're going to do a survey. And I think Lauren is going to send you the link at that time. So if you can complete the survey for us, that would really help us out. It helps us to create our programming and make sure that we're delivering the right kind of programming that you want to see. And then after that, we'll be able to close out, wait for you to finish your evaluations, and look forward to seeing you for the next week. So if you have questions now, you can start typing them in the chat.
I'm back.
Okay, so Mike, we just went over, you have about 7 minutes or so left, and we just went over what the following process would be. They'll have an opportunity for questions and answers, do the surveys, and then we can close out with any closing remarks that you may have. And
7
updates
minutes for me to finish the lesson?
Yes.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect amount of time.
Okay, go ahead, take it over.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we was talking about the composed salads. Then we got the hot dogs. You got the open package of hot dogs. Then you got the unopened package of hot dogs. Me, I just keep my hot dogs in the freezer, so I ain't got to worry about none of that. Because if it's in the freezer, it ain't going bad for a long time. So I just put my hot dogs in the freezer, and I only get beef hot dogs. You know, the good ones. You know, you don't want to get those weird hot dogs with all that all of the chemicals. I mean, the hot dogs and lunch meat are loaded with chemicals unless you really read the package. So you got to learn how to read the labels, and that's next lesson. That's next week. Lunch meat. We talked about that. Yeah, just keep your hot dogs in the freezer. You can keep your sausage in the freezer too because it cooks better from frozen somehow. Like breakfast sausage, it cooks better from frozen. You ain't even got to thaw it out. Just throw it right on in there. At least the links, not the little log. If you like the log, that ain't gonna work raw, frozen. But you can slice it frozen if you got a nice knife. Now, when you was doing the frozen, cutting the frozen sausage, I would use a serrated knife. Okay, you got the little teeth in it, so that helps break through. It's like sawing. Bacon. Since bacon is cured, it lasts a bit longer, but bacon too can deceive you on when it goes bad. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just plan on, if you're gonna buy some bacon, plan on eating it in a week, 5 days, not 7, not a whole week, 5 days. Like by that 7th day, it started to get questionable. Started to get a little slimy. You don't even want to have to make them type of pimp decisions. Hamburger and other ground meats, 1 to 2 days. And that's because hamburger has got like a million, bazillion, gajillion ways for bacteria to get into it. So it's just breaking down fast. It's on a downward spiral to I can't be eaten. Fresh beef, veal, lamb, and pork. The steaks, the chops, the roasts, 3 to 5 days, and those are pretty good. Like you can keep a steak in the refrigerator for a whole week and it'll be good. You can keep some pork chops or whatever for a whole 5 days and they'll be good because it's that thick piece of meat. You know what I'm saying? It's still like a rock. It's a rock right there. It ain't a whole bunch of pebbles falling out your hand. You roast 3 to 5 days. Yeah, that's something you can do in a crock pot and just keep it in the refrigerator and you have food all week. A little pot roast. You know what I'm saying? You can switch it up, eat it for tacos one day. Do all type of stuff. Make a sandwich the other day. You can make it into a pasta dish one day. You can just do all type of stuff with roast meat. The fresh poultry. 1 to 2 days in the refrigerator. Okay. The refrigerator, 1 to 2 days. Chicken gonna start going fast in the refrigerator. You got 1 to 2 days max in the refrigerator. Maybe that 3rd day you can still eat it, but it's gonna be a little. You're gonna have to wash it off. You're gonna have to rinse it good. Then in the fridge, 1 year, 9 months. But you don't want to leave your stuff in the freezer too long because it start getting freezer burnt, and then it start losing its flavor. Soups and stews, 3 to 4 days. You know. Frozen for a month, leftovers, 3 to 4 days, 3 to 4 days, 3 to 4 days. So on Thanksgiving, all that food should be gone by Sunday. You feel me? By Sunday, you're supposed to be cooking another dinner, all right? It's over. Tell grandma we ain't keeping that food this time. All right, moving on. Yep, we doing a whole lot of homeschooling. I got 3 daughters, and my oldest daughter, I just can't understand how she's such a genius. But when I tell her to do her math homework, she don't remember how to do subtraction. Oh my God! I'm trying to figure it out. Okay. You got to keep it clean when you're dealing with the kids. We already been over that. Wash your hands for 20 seconds. Sing the alphabet. Say happy birthday to yourself 2 times. Whatever. Wash those hands, get up under the nails, and scrub away. Rinse fruits and vegetables under running water and pat them dry with a paper towel, or even go further and make a sink full of vinegar and lemon juice and put your fruits in there for about 10 minutes and let them wash away all the wax and the pesticides from the grocery store who tried to keep it looking good so you would buy it. On the go, be sure to keep lunch away from heat or direct sunlight at school. And to do that, you can keep an insulated lunchbox for your kids so that their food stay cold or stay hot. Now, it's a mixture, so you don't want to put some hot in with the some cold, because the some hot is going to reverberate through the bag and make the stuff that's cold come up to the middle temperature, and then they both be warm. So if you got some hot, you got some cold, you want to separate them. Keep perishable items chilled with something like a juice box, gel pack, whatever. Oh my God. I mean, it's just coming like it's supposed to. You feel me? That's how it's supposed to happen. Pack the night before and keep items in the fridge until your child is ready for school. Make sure your child throws away unused packaging, including plastic bags. Don't be leaving old food in the lunch bags to the next day. You'll have a whole bag full of fleas going around. Fleas, I don't even know where gnats come from. They just like, they come out of the fruit or something. Like they just appear. Like they just like, they formed out of thin air or something, but they show up when you leave some food or some fruit on the counter. Then let them pack their lunch and create a family activity so that what you want to happen for your kids, life can happen faster. You want them to figure out how to take care of themselves so you can go ahead and go on vacation and take a chill pill and you don't got to worry about them dying. So the sooner we get them to understand real values that are pertaining to life and nurturing themselves, we can have more time to do what we want to do because we ain't got to worry about the kids killing themselves. Thank you very much. Have a nice night. Say now.
Mike, we actually have a couple questions, so let me read them to you and then you can answer them, okay?
All right.
First question is from Mr. Bradley. He's asking, how long should raw fruit and vegetables be washed, and should the water be as cold as possible?
All right. I would say that you want to wash your fruits and vegetables in cold water, not in hot water, but maybe like lukewarm water, maybe, just so that the warmth of it will kind of, warm water seems to clean things better. I'm sorry, it just does. But you don't want to use like hot water on your fruits. And because it's not like you're trying to get soap off of them, you're just trying to like, that's why I said use vinegar and lemon juice, or you can do the vinegar baking soda thing and let the bubbles come up in the sink and then put your fruit in that, or like put your fruit in and then pour the baking soda in and let the bubbles like activate on the fruit and they'd like pull everything off the fruit, because they use a whole lot of stuff to keep the fruit from looking bad and from spoiling before it gets to you. And so they put wax on it, they put pesticides on it. You don't want to eat that. You don't want to eat that. So you want to wash them. And I would say for about 5-10 minutes in the sink, fill your sink up with water, put some vinegar in there, and then let your fruit sit in there for about 10 minutes.
Okay, great answer. Another question, this comes from Miss Bailey. She asked, if you use a seal-a-meal system for freezing, will your length of freezing change?
Yes,
so
and it'll change in the refrigerator too.
Okay.
If you got a vacuum sealer at your house, that's gonna make your food last way longer because there ain't no air getting to it. Air is the reason your food started to break down, because air comes with a whole bunch of bacteria attached to it. But if the air ain't touching your food, then the bacteria can't touch the food, so the food don't disintegrate as fast. So the meal seal deal thing is a very good idea, but it's also something you got to be very, very clean about, because if you seal bacteria into the seal of, like when you sealing it, you know how when you sealing it and it'd be like that part that don't open up. If it's anything, if that seal is compromised, the food is compromised because something could get in there. So you got to make sure that it's very clean and dry when you're doing vacuum sealing. You got to have it very clean and very dry. and you don't want to have no bacteria in the seal. You can't have nothing in the seal, so be careful about that one. But yes, that's a good idea, and it keep your food lasting longer.
Yeah. Okay, another great question from Mr. Jason. He asked, how do you cook fancy foods? For example, a medium steak that runs red and poached eggs with yolks that run and maintain food safety at the same time. Can you
All right,
be?
so let's just think about what a boiled egg is, what a poached egg is. Okay, a boiled egg and a poached egg are the same thing, but the only difference is you don't have a shell on the poached egg. You're cooking it straight in the water, right? So the way to do that, like the reason is probably be a problem because you're thinking that you put that boiled egg, that egg in the water is gonna just disintegrate and go all over the place because the water bubbling, right? But you deal with that by getting the water up to a certain temperature, not too hot. You don't want your water boiling when you're doing poached eggs. It's only supposed to be hot enough to where you see steam coming out of it, and then you turn it down, and then you let the eggs just sit in the hot water pretty much. And then they come up slow, they cook slow, but that's how you keep the egg soft. Even if you wanted to do a hard-boiled egg, a hard-boiled egg with the shell on it, and you wanted the yolk to be soft, you just cook it for less time. So it typically takes about 8 to 10 minutes for a boiled egg to be all the way done, with the yolk solid in the middle. So if you wanted a soft boiled egg instead of a hard boiled egg, you would cook it for less time. You would cook it for only like 4 minutes maybe, or you would cook it for less time. And then when it comes to the steak, you can get a thermometer, a meat thermometer for your steaks, and they'll tell you what temperature you're at. Or you can use your fingers, your thing. This right here, you see this right here. When you do it with one finger, you get live, and then you just keep on. It's weird. It's weird. 2, 3, 4, 5. One finger feels. When one finger is not as tough. That's
Mike,
like,
you're still on screen share, so we can't see you.
oh, you can't see me? I'm over here.
There we go. Okay.
All right, so you got your hands like this, right? Look, you see that little meaty part right there? That's rare with one finger. 2 fingers is medium rare. 3 fingers is medium. And 4 fingers, a whole fist, is medium well. See how it got harder? Like that meat right there gets tougher the more fingers you use. The less fingers.
So
see that?
the density of the meat changes as it's cooked longer, is what you're saying?
Exactly. The meat gets tougher the longer you cook it. So
if okay.
When you got one finger like this, that's medium rare. That's just a chef test. Medium rare is gonna feel like that with one finger. Look like I'm doing that. Touch that part right there, and you got medium rare meat.
Mm-hmm.
2 fingers, and you got medium meat. 2, 3 fingers, you got medium well, then you got well done. Bad. Or you can get a thermometer. Okay, get a thermometer and do the touch test at the same time, so you can start like gauging your ability to read it without a thermometer. So like you'll take a guess and be like, all right, let me touch it. I think it's at medium rare. Then you go take the temperature of it, and it's not quite medium rare, still raw. So like you can gauge yourself like that. Trial and error. Food cooking is all about failure. You're going to mess it up. So just don't even think about it and don't worry about it. You're going to fail. You're going to burn stuff. You're going to undercook stuff. You're going to cut it the wrong way. You might nick your finger here and there. But who cares? You're not really your body. You just need your body to work for you. You are inside the body. You are internal. The body is going to pass away, but not you. You are alive. You're just using this body. We're trying to learn how to use this body. We're trying to learn how to keep this body at tip-top shape. Like if you had a Lamborghini, would you go to the gas station and put regular gas in the Lamborghini? I can't hear you. I don't think
No.
Exactly. Somebody almost smacked me through the camera when I said that. What's wrong with this boy? He gonna put regular gas in Lamborghini. You ain't even drove a Lamborghini, and you mad at me for even suggesting I put regular gas in it. So that's the point of this class, is to take that outward appreciation
We have,
mirror, so it reflect right back into you, that you can start to appreciate your own self that way, because your body is one of a kind. There's not no other ones out
Simple.
here. You need it to live, and we got to take better care of it. So teach those that
Absolutely,
can
Mike.
teach others. Questions?
We got two.
Questions?
Yes, we have two quick questions, Mike, and then we have to do our evaluations. I know Lauren has sent the evaluation in the chat. So real quick, how much vinegar and how much lemon juice to put in the water for your vegetable and fruit wash from Miss Bell?
About maybe like a half a cup to a cup, and it depends on like how potent you want to get with it, but a half a cup would do it. Half a cup would do it.
Half a cup each of vinegar
Yeah.
and half a cup of lemon? Okay.
Half
The
a
next
cup.
question is
Just
from,
squeeze 2 lemons in there and leave the lemons in the water.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Last question is from Miss Davis. She asked, is it good to put salt and fresh greens when you're trying to clean them to kill bugs? And does that really work?
Yeah, I actually do that myself. When you cut the greens up and you put them in the water to soak, the salt makes the bug. If it was bugs in it, the salt would make the bugs crawl to the top because they're trying to get away from all that salt. So it help you get rid of bugs. It's a bug killer.
Absolutely. Okay, Mike, so we're going to give everybody about 4 minutes to
Can I
click
have
on the.
Hi, this is Jane. I have one more question for Chef Mike. Is it worth buying the fruit/vegetables washes that they have out now?
Is it worth buying?
And, using them to clean your fruit and vegetables?
Well, I mean, if you read the label, it's gonna have exactly what I told you what to put in there, and it's cheaper for you to do it yourself.
Okay.
But we live in a world of convenience, so you could use their stuff, but I'm pretty sure it got some type of preservative in it to give it more shelf life, which is defeating the purpose of taking the chemicals off in the first place.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. But if it don't got that in there, yeah, buy it. Go ahead.
Right.
Make it easy for yourself.
Okay, so if everyone can go to the link in the chat, you might have to scroll up a little bit. It says link to survey. It's a Survey Monkey evaluation. If you can just click on that, do the survey for me in a few minutes, and then Michael's going to come back about 2 minutes till 7 and give closing remarks. We want to thank everyone for being here. We really appreciate your time that you spend with us. Just a reminder of people that if this is your third class, you have one more class to take in order to receive your certificate of completion. By completing 3 classes and the surveys, you will receive a incentive from us, and we will be sending that to you. Also, next week is our 4th and final week, so Michael will also be back to do that. I hope everyone enjoyed him today. I thought it was fantastic. And I'll leave you all
budget next week.
Stopping on a budget next week. So I'll leave everyone to go ahead and take care of the surveys, and Mike will be back in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Mr. Vinegar. That was great. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm right here. I ain't going nowhere. Go ahead, do your surveys. I do personal consultations if anybody wanna hook up on their own to keep the conversation going. I don't charge that much, you know what I'm saying? And we can just talk. You can ask me to do something. You can ask them. You can have a directed consultation, or you can just have an open one where you just pick my brain over whatever you want to talk about. Ask me questions. I do personal cooking classes. I come to your house and help you cook stuff, help you reorganize your refrigerator and all that type of stuff. Let's get it together. I teach cooking classes to kids. and adults. Cater. Meal prep, all of that stuff. Anything got to do with food, I'm the dude to do it. And Ms. Annette be over there catering too. She got some good stuff too going on over there. You know what I'm saying? She got the mute on. Ms. Annette want to give him some, Ms. Annette.
Can you unmute her mic so she can talk?
Oh, I gotta unmute you. Give him a whole
Actually,
vibe.
actually, if they check out my Facebook page, they can see some of the things that I prepare, you know, fresh. You know, the colorful fruits and vegetables. I cook.
If you want to break down your Facebook in the chat, Miss Bell, then they'll have access to it.
Okay, I can do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we have about a minute left. If anyone's having any difficulties accessing the survey, please let us know. So Mike, if you want to go ahead and do your closing remarks, and Annette, thank you for Annette I. Bell for her Facebook page. Mike, you can go ahead.
Long time. I appreciate y'all listening to me today. This was pretty fun, you know. This was fun. It was fun. I learned some things myself because I really don't ever know what I'm going to say. I try to let the universe speak through me. You know what I mean? But I did give y'all some valuable information. If you see it as valuable, you can use it for your own benefit, your family's benefit, people around you. That's what this life is all about. Uplifting each other. You know, giving somebody something that'll help them fly, not drag them down. You know what I mean? And I love all y'all. We are one. You feel me? We are together. I ain't never met y'all before, but I love y'all anyway. Some of your life that made my life. You did something. I know you got goals or some aspiration. It's gonna change the world. Go ahead and do it. Might as well. Why not?
Thank you so much, Mike. And thank you everyone for being here. We don't want to abuse your time or anything, so it's about 7:01. And just remember, come back next week at the same time. You have the link, and we'll see you then.
All right, y'all. Peace out. Y'all got my information on Facebook. Hit me up in my inbox if anybody want to go further on a personal note.
Mike, stay on the line for a minute. Lauren, stay on the line.
I'm not going nowhere.
Oh, Mike, can you make me the host again?
Huh?
Can you make me the host again?
Oh, trying to take my power away, huh? Hold on, let me find. Where you at? Where you at? There you go. Make host. All right. I changed it.
Thank you.
That was fun. How many people did we have? 12?
Hold on, Mike.
Huh?
Just a sec.
Hey man, why I didn't want that message to be private. Everyone.
Hold on, Mike.
Oh,
Lauren's working.
Lauren, I sent you all kind of messages privately. I didn't mean to do that. I'll forward it to him in an email. I'll be right back.
I guess everybody
should be gone by now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I was gonna say he can just email me all the links and I can put them in the follow-up email.
He can email what?
Email me all his links and things, like whatever he wants to send to people, I can just put them in the follow-up.
Oh, his Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, and Annette can too. I'll email her to ask her for all her information too.
Yeah. So when you create a Facebook page, how do I do that? If I wanted to I have a Facebook page, but I'm thinking about another one. And actually somebody made that for me some years ago.
What do you mean a Facebook page? Like a business page or like just an account?
Like a Facebook account.
Oh, you just go in there and sign up for one?
So you just use any email?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what's a Facebook business account?
Oh, that's like our Health Gap page, like on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on 1 minute. Sorry.
I'm back.
Okay, Mike. So how do you think it went?
I think it went well. They asked some questions.
Yeah, I thought it went pretty good too. Lauren, are you here?
Yeah, I think it went well.
Yeah, I do too. I thought you were very engaging with people, which is always nice. People actually responded well because they were actually asking questions. Because I think before we really weren't getting any questions. So I think this has to do with your personality, Mike. So that's good.
Provoke them to thought, though. You know, I feel like
Yeah.
that's what an educator does, and it just leads people to their own conclusions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just leave hints out there, and they come to their own conclusions. But you know,
Yeah.
Hold on, my uncle's outside. Hold on.
So you were saying, Mike, that you said you had learned a lot. So what were some of the things that you learned from your first time doing this Zoom session?
did I like doing it? I was kind of nervous, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is good.
I was
I
nervous.
thought it was really good too. And I do agree with you. You do learn a lot through this process. One thing I'll suggest, you can sit your microphone down.
Oh yeah, I'm over here acting like it's an earphone, like, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, even you don't have to hold it either. You can
Yeah.
just sit it down and sit close enough to it if you feel like you have to be close. But so that way, so it's not distracting to people watching. You know what I mean? Yeah.
The other thing is the lights behind you. Is it possible to just close the curtain? What does it look like without the?
Yeah, I didn't close the curtain. I got you. I said I have a nice setup next. The setup will be better next time.
Yeah. I think however you got your laptop positioned is great. It's like a full shot of your face, and that's good. And then like with the curtains closed, we won't get that glare from behind you.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I meant to have this up here, but I had time to set it up.
Yeah. So next week when we do this, well, you're gonna have to really, because you have a bunch of windows in there. You know.
I meant to have a yin and yang behind me. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't get a chance. To set it up.
Yeah,
that'll work. Yeah. So yeah, that was really a good session, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
Think of anything else, Mike, write them down for yourself for the next time. And it probably would, like you said, help, go ahead and have it set up so that all you have to do is just log into Zoom and you're on.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren, do we still want to meet next Tuesday at 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're still going to meet again, Mike, next Tuesday at 5, just like today.
Okay.
Your camera logged in and everything, and or your laptop logged in, so you're just ready.
And then all your links and things, anything you want to send them, you can send them to oh, did you? Yeah.
Yep, I sent them over to you.
Yeah.
Yes, indeedy.
All right. Well, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Pretty good run for the night.
Yep, I'm about to go take a nap, so.
All right, Joe. I'll see y'all next week then.
All right.
Okay, great.
All right, peace.
Bye.